All right. Let's go ahead and get this recap going for our Friday and get into the weekend here and see what's going on. So I'm going to jump down into that 15-minute here. And again, the key levels are on our chart. And I didn't actually, I don't know if I marked them out today. I did. Just been bored. So I did mark out the daily support, the daily trigger, or the breakdown trigger, the daily resistance, and the break. I must have flipped these around. So basically, this is your breakdown trigger down here in the purple line. It's your breakout trigger up here on the green line. Basically, they're both the breakout triggers, if you will. You can see that throughout the day today, we just traded a ride along here. And I'm on the 15 minutes, so we do have the 200 above here, and we have the 21 all throughout the day here. Then we came back into the early afternoon. We started to actually break down, then we came right back up. But you can see that we have a hard point of control here from the week. That we are breaking back into. And we also, if you go down to the 5-minute, we have the 200 still coming down on price action. So if anything, I can see this being pressed down. Might not go far down into this area, but could get pushed down past this. This is the key area that we'd be looking at for this to break down. But the way I look at the 5-minute is kind of a pretty good indicator when you're trying to analyze the lower time frames. I think I've said this before, but if you're below the 200 and below the 21 right now, you're bearish. That would be a bearish setup, and then you kind of look at price action and where things are at, and could be continued down. Now, when you're in between, like here, it's 50-50 because you're above the 21, which gives you bullish. You're below the 200 right now, so that's bearish. Now, if we can start to continue up and we broke above, then we start looking for more upwards movement there. So that's what I would be looking at. So when we are looking at the rest of the day, though, going back since the beginning of the early morning, we marked it out with our key levels, ran everything through for a daily market review inside of our Kabroda trading battle box. And you can see that we got our key levels all marked out. Like I said, I was pointing those out. And you can see how in the morning we went ahead and ran up and hit this key level. We were talking about yesterday with the 4 hour. So I'll jump out and take a look at that real quick. And we can kind of see some key information on the 4 hour. This was what we were looking at here. I had drawn the tops and the bottom here on the Fibonacci, and I said basically this is your golden pocket that we were running up into and seeing how it played out. Now you can see it did get right up on the 618, which is the bottom part of the golden pocket, and it rotated, and then we traded all back down, and then we traded really right back into this main target zone. The one thing that I'm watching pretty heavy right here is this point of control from the weekly, this yellow line. You can see we broke above it, back tested it, came up and really got us in this pocket, and we're trading down, and now we're underneath of it. So we are kind of getting squeezed in between these two areas. We could see possibly break down and get down into these other areas with our daily support, and could see this play out a little more just because we are bearish right now on the longer time frames as well, or mid time frames, the 1 hour, 4 hour. But we'll have to kind of see. You are in a afternoon here. I think I move these out of the way here. And right now I'm watching the 1 hour. It does show that it kind of wants to come up here. Wouldn't surprise me if it kind of just rolled back out and let this play on down and bleed out, just because we're underneath this point of control, and we just can't push above it. We still have more downwards pressure. The one plus is I do like is the 1 hour is coming up. The 200 still coming, hasn't really rolled over yet, so this could just put a little bit of pressure and just get this little spike down in here and then rebuild. We'll have to kind of watch. So the 15-minute, going back into that time frame, you can see that we are coming down off of that. That's why I went up to that 1 hour, 4 hour to kind of show you how price action had played through the night, and then it was kind of coming down and found an area to bounce in, and then it gave us some key levels for us to look for. And then when we came back up, you can see that we rejected right in this last week's high, candle high, and then started to come back down. That's why I marked these levels on here and kind of watching it. So I had to stay careful right here in the morning, and then when it came back, it literally back tested right here on the 15-minute, right on its 200 and 21. Everything was coming down. This was rolling flat. We were coming off that 4 hour. That's why I was talking about that golden pocket yesterday. So if you're looking for which way is the trends are friend till the end. The trend had been set for downwards pressure. So that's what we were looking for in the day. In the morning was, are we going to set up for downwards pressure? And what I just showed you is kind of that setup we're looking at on the longer time frame. Now, if you zoom in on the 5-minute, what I was talking about earlier, here's your 200 and here's your 21. And right here is where in that same 15-minute was starting to show downwards pressure. So that's why I went down into the 5-minute in order to take advantage of price action. For this, I wanted to see it get back below this. So this trade here, this is what I was looking for it to go down to. Obviously, I got in a little bit later, and I always go back and take out these key support levels. That's why I didn't use the 30-minute. This is that 30-minute candles with dotted lines you see in there. That's the 30-minute range. That's why I marked this range, because you can see how it's respected. In the morning, when this is the 30-minute range, I took the top, but we broke down and then back tested right into the bottom. And the 15-minute did this as well. So this was an entry that I took. Like I said, I marked the key levels that I see on the chart, and I just take it out at those levels. And this is kind of the reason why we traded down and then went sideways. And just kind of have grinded the rest of the day. And now we're coming near the end of the day here. It's about less than an hour, 50 minutes, and we'll close out this Friday's trading day. It does, like we've been talking about since the beginning of the video, it does show like it's getting more pressure. If we break through this 117,250, you do have a little bit of resistance here on this low, about 115,650 range. Then we're looking at down here at the 114,400 range. Those are the two strong levels. This is really strong for support. So again, none of this is financial advice. It's just some guy here hanging out with you and showing price action and how to read it. But if you were thinking about doing something, this showed you that this is going to hold if we're going to break down. So if we started to break down out of this, and you can see the rollover, we are kind of getting this pressure here. If we break down, this is where I would be looking at taking a possible trade. If you wanted to run a little bit longer, you could take it on down there. So that would be definitely an option. Really just watching to see how these two levels start to come together, and if we could break down. Now, you might be asking, like, well, how do we know that we're going to break down hard? Watch for volume to come up in here, like I've talked about in the past. We're watching for volume. Right now, there hasn't been a lot of volume in this afternoon movement. You got a little bit of volume right here on this candle, and you saw the rejection, which is a very good sign of downwards pressure. And I wouldn't get too quick to jump off of a short if I was in. So that's what you're doing. You can see that there's been volume spikes here, and that's all been at your key levels. So right here was a volume spike. They're not real big though, but throughout the day, you can see a little bit of energy. Volume spikes, and you really want to watch them at the key levels when the volume spikes kick in, because if it gets rejected, and basically means that if you're in the trend and it's trying to reverse, and there's a pretty strong area of resistance, and it puts a lot of energy into it, but yet gets knocked down, it's a pretty good sign that this is going to hold a lot stronger than before. You put strength here. You can see as volume kicks in, it gets pushed back through. Now the buyers are coming in and pushing it back through, which is a good thing, but it just means it's grinding away with that. Just the strength in this started right here with big volume, right? We bounced right on it. That's what I'm talking about. We came back up, there's no energy, and we just constantly got slowed back down underneath this shot up here, the ceiling. And then we got pushed back down. You can see a little bit of energy kick back in as it tries to push, but higher volume kicks in. When it runs up, it gets rejected. And so that's constantly happening. So more than likely, it looks like we are going to be going down to this lower level. If you're kind of putting a percentage on this, it's a higher percentage to go down than push back up right now. Not that it's going to go far, though. It's probably, this is a high shelf, like I was saying, and this is a high shelf as well for us to be able to show rotation. You're sitting in the weekend, so be careful. Low volume on weekends. I know we've said that, and it's run up in the last couple of weekends, but that is trading. But overall, weekends aren't the best time to trade. Unless you see your setup where you have a pretty good edge, and using the Kabroda trading battle box and the key levels and stuff that we're talking about, you can definitely set that up and take advantage of it when price action is setting up for you on the weekend. A lot of times there is little runs and stuff you can get your hands on. So that's about it, guys. We like and subscribe. We definitely want you to join the channel. We're constantly putting out more content. If you have questions, throw it in there in the comments. We'll be looking at that stuff. I know we do talk to traders quite a bit, not always on comments and videos, but just in communication with people at all different levels. So we're always there to help. We're also there to learn anything new. So go ahead and share your stuff. But we'll go ahead and talk to you guys later. Have a good weekend and enjoy the recap. Thanks, guys.